years that I was a model, full disclosure, when I was modeling, I was very, I was maybe a little insecure. I don't want to really say that. I don't think that was like the root of it, but I was kind of shy and stuff. So I never really knew my place. So I didn't really ask, what's this for? Where can I find this? How can I? So there are some of these photos that I have. And quite frankly, I don't even I'm surprised I even have it. Even just, I think because they were posted onto Instagram, and then so I would upload or save them. And then over the years, Haley was able to get access, and I think even Haley has some of these and sent them to me that I don't even have anymore. But some of these are that's maybe from a magazine or whatever, and I don't know what magazine, I don't know where to find it, I don't know anything like that. I just know that that's kind of what it was for. So, the full disclosure, but we'll start here. This very first one is sort of it's my more the photo in my modeling career. It was one of the first in my portfolio, and it was it was definitely one of my more favorites. In fact, my mom has photos of all me and my siblings, and so there's all three of us graduated from high school, and then as we've moved on to do things, for example, my brother's in the military, as she would update our photos to things that we've done. And so where me and my sister were high school graduates, my brother, his picture was now him in the military, and so this picture is my replacement. So now my photo in my mom's house is this, which is kind of funny. I don't remember the photographer's name, but I know my agent was very excited to get me in. He had some good style, good shots for potentially sending me to New York. There are certain photos that I find where if I show people, I'm fairly ready for people to be like, that's not you, that's Photoshop or something, and this is definitely one of them. It's kind of just funny, the complete difference that just certain angles can find. But yeah, these were meant to send me to New York, and it came out super cool. This next one, I look high. I don't know how that was a good photo. I don't know. I think when I was modeling, I looked good, and I know for sure with my mom, whenever I tell her, I'm like, I wasn't a great model, she'd be like, what do you mean? You were a fantastic model. And I think it was just she just thought her son was handsome. I don't actually think that technically I was a very good model. I think I had a decent look, and I only did it for a couple years, only did so many things. I never really went anywhere with it. It's part of the reason I quit was, I was pretty self-aware of okay, I'm okay at looking how I look, but my technique wasn't great. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a goofy look. I don't think I really knew what I was doing there. I think I was just kind of hoping that my face and the outfit would save me. But this was in part of a magazine. I don't think it'll be in this video, but there's a couple more photos I have where I'm actually the sort of story being told is that I'm on a beach picnic date with a girl, and there's some photos of that, but this is just sort of me modeling some beach summer wear. And so it's in a magazine again. I'm sorry, I don't know what the magazine is called. In fact, I'm sure with some research I could find, I don't know, I could find on my Instagram, if I re-uploaded this, where it came from, whatever. I'm sure there's some research to be done that I could find it, so I might do that. But yeah, this was I want to say pretty late into my modeling career. I think I was pretty close. This was right near the end of it. This next one, this is me in Singapore. It's a fun fact, actually, so I won't mention the name of the girl just in case she doesn't want to be a part of this. But she was one of the girls that I was living in the modeling house in Singapore. And I felt really bad. There was I might be missing details. I might be wrong on some of these details, but she was gonna do a shoot, and I feel like someone canceled, and so the shoot wasn't gonna go through. But I could be wrong. They may have just asked me anyway, and I just said, yeah, sure, why not? Like, it was either gonna be me or maybe looking at someone else, and I just said yes. But I was actually done. I was in Singapore, and I was done my contract, and I was looking to leave. And then so my last few days in Singapore, I was just I had nothing to do. I wasn't a model in Singapore. And they just like reached out to me and they said, hey, she's got this shoot to do. Can you go help her and do the shoot with her? I was like, yeah, sure. So she was cool. I got along very well with all of the people that I was living with. So I was happy to help out. I don't know, like, again, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna go like Tyra Banks and go like, here's what I should have done, I don't know, I think I just kind of had one face that like kind of looked alright for certain projects, and then sometimes, I don't know, I was also like right at the end of my modeling contract, and as soon as I came back from Singapore, I was a model for like another month, and then I was done, so maybe I just like wasn't into it anymore either, but not great. This one's kind of fun. This is, and I actually can find the name of this photographer, because he actually did a lot of my romance novels. So I can find that out. He was great. He was so much fun to work with. I loved working with him. But he got me. He pulled me in for his Twin Peaks shoot. He was a huge fan of Twin Peaks, and he wanted to reshoot it with all these different models. That's obviously just like it's a green screen background. We didn't actually go anywhere to like do it, but he was like recreating different scenes, and I just pulled it off. I just pulled it up of who it was. It's James Hurley. That's it. I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I should look up the character that I was playing, and then I looked it up, and then I forgot who it was. James Hurley was the character, the guy in like the motorcycle, and that is actually like a shot of like a moment in Twin Peaks that I recreated. So that was really cool. This shoot, and again, I won't know a single photographer's name. I feel terrible. I kind of just like, when I was done modeling, I was young, and I was just sort of like, I'm done with that, and didn't really show the respect to be like, you know, a lot of these guys did great jobs with me, and I'm very like happy and proud. So I maybe could have done a better job of like remembering everybody and that. But either way, this guy, fun little fact, if anybody knows the story of how Haley and I met, she was doing a university project where she had to hire a model to just be in like some photos with just kind of like, as I think I was an ex-boyfriend or something, that was just not, I wasn't in the movie. It was just been a model, and they had to choose between me and another guy from my agency, and they went with the other guy. Well, I knew him from this photo shoot, and specifically this photo is what Haley was given, or Haley or like the whole crew, or that this is what they were given of me and the other guy. We did the same shoot, we did the same sort of style and photos and stuff, so this is just my version of that. So that's what Haley would have seen. That probably would have, that actually canonically is like the first photo Haley would have seen of me ever. I assume later on in this video I do have a profile version from that shoot, so it was one or the other, but I'll show you that. This one I don't remember. I've done too many cowboy things. This might have been Cowboy's Deadly Mission. You know what? Yeah, I can tell from the shirt. Okay, yeah. So this is from A Rancher of Convenience. I'm shaking the table. This is from A Rancher of Convenience. This was my second romance novel. And so I think we were just waiting on somebody to get ready. I was already in my outfit. We were just kind of joking around, taking some. I was like, oh hey, let's take some solo cowboy shots for Grant. And so photographer, and this is the same photographer to Twin Peaks. He did my this was the first time I was working with him. He did my second and third, and I think that I don't think he did my fourth romance novel. I think he just did the second and third and the Twin Peaks with me. But this was the same photographer, and so when he sent me the Rancher of Convenience, he also sent me this, and I was like, hey, go ahead and put this on your Instagram or your Tinder or whatever. And then, of course, Rancher of Convenience. It's my second romance novel. If you know anything about my modeling career from previous videos we've done, I did four romance novel shoots. We eventually found a fifth one that reused a photo. Wasn't the exact photo, but it's from the same shoot as one of those four. So, I mean, there could be an infinite amount out there. But I did 4 photo shoots, 4 romance novels. A Rancher of Convenience is my second one. I feel like we've talked about it, and if we have, then we can just cut this out. If we haven't, basically the convenient part is my character is a cattle rustler, and there is a cattle rustler in town that the town gets rid of, and then I am part of like the crew that gets rid of him. And I feel bad that like this woman is now like a widow with a baby on the way, so I step up to the task of being the new father, and so I'm a rancher of convenience. It's fun. This one was actually done by just a friend that I met at when I was doing Runway shows. She was a makeup artist at the show, kinda. She was like, what they did is, I don't know if this was every time or I think this was just this one time. They obviously had all the makeup artists for the show, and they brought in a bunch of girls who were studying to be makeup artists from like a local college, and brought them on behind the scenes to kind of see how it went and get like some like on-site experience. And so I met this girl, and she had a project where she was doing this. So I'm supposed to be like, it's like a lion. It's like the contrast of dark and light. I was the lion to someone else's lamb who was more brightly colored makeup, whereas I was the one who was like the dark contrast. But it came out really cool. Gave me another photo, put on Instagram, built the profile a little bit. So that was pretty sweet. So this is the same photo shoot and the same photographer, obviously, from the very first photo where I'm in the suit. My hair's just kind of curled over. You can actually see my hair's in the same style where it just, the bang curls over a bit. Nothing really to say. It's just this cool little industrial area. But great shots. There's a lot of shots from that photo shoot that I really enjoyed. But yeah, it's kind of funny. It's interesting. The first photo that I showed, the one where I'm in the suit, was like we're literally in his backyard, like with a big black tarp as the background, and then we went off and he had this location to shoot at. And this is my first like professional photo shoot. What I mean by that is technically my first photo shoot. So not, and I don't mean like a project, like in order. My very first thing I ever did was a magazine. I wasn't paid or anything like that, but that was like, it was a project. I was hired as a model, like, again, not paid, but asked me if I would do it. I agreed. I did it. I then got my agent, and my agent did a small photo shoot, just me and him in his house, to kind of see how my Tourette's would fare in photo shoots, so that he could then, say like, yeah, you can handle it, you're fine, or, maybe this isn't gonna work. Of course, that was fine. And then he got me with a photographer to start building my portfolio, and he got me with multiple photographers, and this was my very first one. I look so different. I look so young, I find. Clearly have no idea what I'm doing, even like down to like that move was like his. I didn't come up with that. That's like, he's like, why don't you do that? And even then I was like, just awkwardly, like, I don't really know how to position myself, what to do, but yeah, I feel like that's my hoodie though. I think, you know what, yeah, these are all my clothes. I brought my own clothes. He had some clothes for me to try, but I brought my own clothes, so that's my hoodie. I had that for a long time. It was like always too small for me. This next one, oh my god, my zipper jeans. I loved my zipper jeans. Quick story about these zipper jeans. On the way back from Singapore, so really quick, this shot was from Singapore, but I had these jeans that I bought at probably like H&M or Zara or something like that, that just, you can see, I mean, I don't know if we can like zoom in or not, but like over the knees, down by my calf, like there was just zippers. I was like, oh, that is so cool, so stylish, and I brought them with me to Singapore. And then I wore them home, like leaving home, or like leaving to go home. And I went from Singapore, took a plane to Tokyo, and then from Tokyo I took a plane to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta I took a plane to Toronto, and every single airport I got stopped because I'm literally wearing so much metal on me that I was setting off every buzzer every time. It was the dumbest move, and I was probably just so sleep deprived at any point that I was never, you know what, as much as I wanted to be like, wow, I never changed pants at any point to be like, you know what, this is ridiculous, let's change pants. But regardless of how sleep deprived I was, I probably, like, my luggage was, I probably checked it in Singapore and didn't see it till Toronto, so I just didn't have the opportunity. But not a smart clothing choice. Back to the photo. Yeah, this was in Singapore. One of my last photo shoots in Singapore, I think, that when I was still like on contract as a model. And then I think after this I was done, and then I did that beach one with the other girl, but not much to say. The photographer was very cool, very good. I enjoyed all my experiences with all my photographers. I have like nothing but good things to say about all the photographers that work with me, but again, this was just kind of to add to the portfolio, but nothing really came of it. I just don't think I was that great of a model, really, when it comes down to how good I was. This is the same photo shoot, just different angles, just getting me like darker in, because I was in like, it was against like, I think political building, like a government building, so there was just like at one point like these columns and pillars and archway, and if you kind of went into the back of this, like, it was just sort of like dark over here, so I kind of like went back in and made it dark. awesome. This, so if anybody knows Tom, if you're at all familiar with like the GTA in Toronto, or, and if you know, so there's the men's Toronto Fashion Week is called Tom. And I was in it like basically every season. I think there was, I guess there would have been 4 seasons. It would have been like fall, winter, spring, summer. Or no, because this is fall, winter, so there might have been 2 seasons, I think of it. Spring, summer, fall, winter, per year. I was in it every season. Then I was a model, but there was always a campaign for Tom, and it was just like 5 models that were picked, and sometimes like they weren't even always in Tom. Sometimes these were like big guys that like had their own thing going. And one year I was asked to be the face of Tom, and it was really cool. In fact, like I think I was kind of like of the campaign, there was like 5 guys, and I think I was like the guy because I was kind of like the face. Like there was a big printout of me on the door. There was like pictures of me. So that was really cool. And like again, I don't know if we can like zoom in here if you can see, but like there's some white on my like at the top of my head, and they literally just did like this angular white paint on my forehead. It was a cool style, and it was all black and white and everything like that. So very cool. This next one is not my first runway, but my first runway show. But this wasn't it was my very first night doing runway, but it wasn't my very first runway. This one I actually know is Trois Paradis. It's like the only thing I'm ever gonna be like, oh yeah, I know that. And yeah, kind of an interesting sort of outfit. The only real story I have behind this was just more like a lot of us, and again, don't know if we can zoom in or what Haley's gonna do or whatever, but if you can see on the picture, I've got freckles, and it's for makeup. They spent all this time, they wanted everyone to have freckles, and they put freckles all over the models' faces. And then some of us had masks, so you couldn't even really tell that we had freckles. And that's kind of like the only real story I have about that. This is what I was saying, the side profile. This is that black and white photo that I said like Haley would have seen to pick us for the movie. It's the same thing. Like me and the other guy both have a straight on and a profile of that shoot, like doing like the same face and everything. Like it's like if you looked fast, like you wouldn't even know which one's which. And like again, I don't even think I look fully like myself there in general, but still a cool photo. The second last one, this is Zane Barlas. I think this looks really good, but I'm just quickly going to send something to Haley. Give me but a moment. So we'll go back to this photo that Haley sent me, but the photo that I sent her, that I hope she puts over this, is the same runway. I had 2 outfits, and I think this photo looks good, but the one that I sent her is like the photo. Like when people say like, oh, is there like a photo that you're just like, oh my god, is that you? It's the one I just sent her. I just find it so like crazy. I think I look like James, but I don't think I look like me at all. it's super James Bond, but because it's like a runway, they're just snapping photos just straight down the runway, and they're not doing any work around it. So it's not photoshopped or anything. Like, I can just get away with just saying, for a moment in time, I looked like that, even if that wasn't how I looked going down the street, even if that wasn't like, better believe that showed up in my Tinder, because that was like the photo that, like, someone was like, oh guys, have you seen all the photos updated from this runway? And I went, give me the what? So that's like literally my favorite photo of myself, but they're both of the same runway. They're both by Zane Barlas, who does a lot, just does suits, really. I've never really seen him do anything other than suits, but they're amazing. So that's that. And then the final one here that we have that Haley sent me, you know what? When she sent it to me, I literally was like, I don't remember this one, but that would have been Shelly O. I swear, I'm like 99% that is, so it's Shelly O, but I've done a lot of her runways. She herself in person is extremely nice, super wonderful to be around. And that is the last photo of the many photos that Haley sent me. If you guys like this, let us know. I'm sure we can find some more. I mean, I'm done modeling now, so I'm very limited to my my photos and everything I have and stories. If I've never talked about it, I have a story about how I played Spock when it came to modeling. So if you guys are interested, I could talk about that story in another video. But if you enjoyed this, please let us know. Please give us your support. You guys have been wonderful. Our subscriber count has been going up. We've been getting so many wonderful comments and likes and views on our videos. So you guys have just been so supportive. So we definitely want to hear from you and know what you guys like. But I hope this gave you some insight into my modeling career. I hope it gave you some entertaining and interesting stories. And more importantly, I hope that sleep was granted. Have a good night, and I